Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Virgo for the month of March. You can have Virgo anywhere in your chart. You can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you are here watching this reading, that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Okay, so Virgo, the message that I got for you beforehand. So first off, I heard you know how to move on from this. You can move on from this. And so I don't know what you're trying to move on from, but it seems like, you might be doubting your abilities a little bit at this time. And then I heard the words figure it out. And at first I was like, man, that sounds harsh. But then they pointed out it was like that show in the 90s on Nickelodeon or something called Figure It Out, where these kids would go on and they would have like, excuse me, they would have like a unique talent, and they would have a panel of Nickelodeon stars that would try to guess the words. I think words or maybe letters. I don't think it was letters. I think it was words. And they got to ask the contestant questions. So they would try to guess what the contestant's special or unique talent was. And so I feel like there's a unique talent that you have that you're supposed to be utilizing. It could be totally different than what you have been doing with life. Because it's saying like you know how to move on. So you might be needing to move on from one thing to a new thing. But you have a special talent that you can start utilizing. Okay. Let's see here. And then they gave me the song What's Love Got to Do with It by Tina Turner. And so I think right now I'm feeling that you might be a little bit jaded and like closing off your heart to not just people, but things in general, like your everyday actions. And I'm getting the sense that maybe you feel a little bit jaded right now. You're just kind of reserved and you're taking a step back and you don't really want to put your heart into anything yet. I did find it interesting. One of the lyrics in the song, it says, I've been taking on a new direction, but I have to say, I've been thinking about my own protection. So it's like, you want to do something like, whatever was beforehand, whatever, is before March of 2021, when I'm putting this video out, or whenever you watch it. Whatever came before, you feel jaded from, and I think you're really wanting to like protect yourself as you move forward. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Okay, can I have one or two cards for Virgo, please, for March? Virgo, March, please. Can I have one or two cards for Virgo for March? Virgo, March. One or two cards, please. I have one or two cards for Virgo. One or two cards for Virgo, please. I did just see a glimpse of the rabbit, and the rabbit does, to me, it often represents fear, feeling a bit timid, and I don't know if you're necessarily timid or even fearful, but you are very cautious and protective of yourself right now. And the fish. And then the wolf is on the bottom. The wolf, I'm getting that really strong protective energy. And not just because it's a wolf, but also because like in this card, the wolf looks like, to me, it has like angel wings. And so, you could be wanting to protect yourself, but also I'm getting the sense that even though it might not feel like it right now, you do have some divine protection going on. Okay. Now it's interesting because we have a water card coming out, and everything in the message I was getting beforehand is like kind of you're kind of shut off from your emotions currently. You're not really wanting to put a lot of emotion into a lot of things right now. So, hang on, I'm going to find fish in here. Well, this is really interesting. It says restlessness, change of focus, which we talked about before, and being lost in the current. And, you know, I feel like you might have been a little bit lost in the current beforehand, but whatever, I feel like there was something that came to an end abruptly, I think. And even though you feel jaded over it, you were maybe starting to feel lost in the current a bit with that, whatever it was, relationship, job, whatever. But then you kind of like, that's what you want to take into your next relationship, job, is just like still being lost in the current, still just kind of going with the flow, not putting a lot of emotion into anything, and just kind of like, yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now, is just kind of like meh feeling. Okay. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and more movement. So you could be avoiding your emotions by just nonstop action, like just keeping busy. You could be avoiding like whatever it was that ended and all the feelings that are coming with that. Um, you could be kind of avoiding it by just like being on the go all the time. Okay, so let's see here. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. That's where that unique talent comes in. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When in balance, adaptable, travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. Okay, so I do think that sums up what I was feeling in the messages I was getting beforehand, okay? Let's pull this a little bit. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Wild Unknown Tarot. And I gotta take a drink. My throat is like acting up. I don't know why I feel compelled to say this. I used to hate like carbonated water, but here recently I've been, and I never even liked carbonation before, and here recently I've been kind of like enjoying it. Right now I have like a strawberry flavored carbonated water, and the strawberry, it almost tastes like a really like underripe strawberry, but like it's still red but not like super red. And I don't know why I'm telling you this story. I'm hearing red, or I was talking about red, and there's red in this card too. That's the only color in it. And so there's something maybe about your root chakra, like needing to ground a bit. If you're constantly moving, you might need to ground. Okay? But anyway, I do not know why I started talking about that carbonated water thing. It's just like how things change. Do you know what I'm saying? Things change. Like I hated carbonated water, and now all of a sudden I'm enjoying it. And so it's like there's something in my mind that shifted. There's something within me that shifted. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have the Father of Pentacles and the Star. Now, I really like this because it has the rainbows in both. And he's like looking directly at the star. It's almost like, I think you feel the star is really far away from you, because the Father of Pentacles, that's a earth energy, and you're an earth sign. Excuse me. But and if you look at this card, to me, This, whatever animal this is, it almost looked like it has a rat face. Do you see that? So maybe with whatever happened, you're feeling kind of like a rat. You're feeling, you might be being kind of hard on yourself. And you see this healing, this, because that's what the star represents. It's the healing energy. And I feel like you see it and you know that you need to do it, but it's almost like that "What's Love Got to Do with It" song. Like, she is so removed from her emotions, and she doesn't, like, she's doing it out of self-protection. It's almost like you're needing to do like a deep dive, but you're really not wanting to. I don't even want to say deep dive, because the star energy is like more ethereal instead of like down. But with the whole rainbows in both cards, that to me represents all the chakras as well. And I was saying like the red and the root chakra, and then ethereal. So it's like everything from the base to the top is needing aligned, but you don't want to go there right now. But you do. I think deep down you do, but you just think that it's too risky right now. It's too risky. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what's between you and the healing, because I don't feel like you're close to it yet. I feel like you're removed from wanting to heal. So I'm going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot and see what's between you and the healing. Now, with the Father of Pentacles, I do feel like it has something to do with a career as well. Just because Pentacles represents our money and our stability and stuff like that. So there could have been something where you felt on top of your game, and it was just like, it abruptly ended. And now that can also be like, stability can also come like from a marriage or a stable home. But yeah, I'm getting a really strong masculine energy too, not just because it's the Father of Pentacles. I have been the whole time, but again, it could just be like the masculine aspect of who you are is needing healed. Because I feel like right now, whoever's watching this, male or female, I feel like you might be living a little bit more in your ego, like out of protection. Your ego is really strong right now. Oh, we have the Hermit on the bottom. I feel like that's confirmation. This is the Virgo reading, and this is the Virgo card. But this is kind of like that needing to go within, but you're not really wanting to go there right now. You're definitely not wanting to go there right now. Okay, so we have the Hierophant, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Oh goodness, that's 3 5s. That is 3 5s, you guys. And do you know what 5 represents? Change. 5s are literally change. That's like what that number means. Yeah, okay. So it's like you were feeling in control. Because the Hierophant represents like contracts and stability, and that's the Taurus card, by the way, as well. But it's like you were really secure where you were, and then all of a sudden it just changed. And I think it broke your heart with this Five of Cups. It broke your heart. You just feel like your world ended, right? And now with that figure it out, that unique talent, that's the 2 cups that they always talk about with the 5 of Cups. It's like the 3 cups are spilled, but there's still 2 upright cups that are full. And the person just needs to turn around and see that there's still 2 cups. And I feel like that's what it is. It's like your whole world seemed like it crumbled, but there's still something. There's still a unique talent that you have that you need to figure out. And with the Five of Swords, especially this Five of Swords, this person, right, they have all of the swords to themselves. And these two people are like really in distress. And I feel like that's you kind of being in your ego right now. It's so weird because I wanted to see what was between you and healing. And that's exactly what's between you and healing. Is you need to get past the hurt, the pain, and the masking. It's almost like you're masking with your ego here. Just taking everything for yourself, being like this Five of Swords can often mean selfishness. And I'm not saying that you are a selfish person, but I think that right now you could be, by holding back that what's love got to do with it? It's like you're holding back from the healing. You're masking the pain with ego. So, you know what I'm going to do? I want to get some more tarot just because I don't feel like that's the end of the message. Like, I do feel like this is where you are right now, but it's like, how do we... I guess that's the advice. So I guess I'm not going to get more tarot. This might be kind of a short reading, but maybe not. We'll see what the fairies... what the fairies have to say. Now, the fairies we're using as advice. Yeah, so what is the advice for Virgo? What advice does the fairies have for Virgo for the month of March regarding this reading? What's the advice from the fairies for Virgo, please? And I'll tell you what, like fairies, they can be super sweet, but they can also call you on your shit. I will tell you that. So what do the fairies have to say to Virgo, please, to help them kind of stop masking here, to get to their healing star? What's the advice for Virgo, please? Okay. So you had two come out. We have the journeyman, which makes sense because we're talking about transition, right? Like he's literally stepping from one to the next, like, or well, there's nothing there, but that's what you're doing. You're going from one thing to a new thing. Okay. And then the feline. Okay, so let's find them in the book here. So I'm noticing that these both end with fives. Do you see that? 15 and 65. A lot of five energy here, you guys. Lots of change. So the journeyman. Adventure, independence, polishing of skills, and travel. That is what I think I feel like you have felt the need to stay on the surface level for this reason, because you're changing something and you're needing to polish a new skill, because it's like almost like you have to like completely change careers or completely change environments or something. There's something that is just like what it was in the past is no longer, and what it is now is not anything like it was before. I'm getting strongly that it's a career, but of course it doesn't have to be. It can apply however it does, but it's almost okay. So I feel like how I said there's nothing here that he's stepping onto. This is what he's stepping onto, the feline. We're going from the journeyman to the feline. Okay, so let me see. 65. Getting it right, delayed completions, tidying up loose ends. This is the accusing, offended expression we see on a cat's face, saying, "You know I have my dinner at 5 o'clock." The feline is also known as a slight accusation or an accusation of slight. Hang on. So, you know what's interesting is that it's almost a very similar pose to me, these two. The Father of Pentacles and then the feline, even though it's not really, but like, and the feline is looking straight at us. It's almost like he knows that this person's about to step on his back and he's a little bit bitter about it. And I think that's where you are right now. It's like you're just in bitterness. Okay, let me keep going here. Let's see here. We know the feline is near, nodding his head when we hear remarks like, I thought you'd have my shirt ironed for me. You said you'd get the brakes fixed. Or you mean that report isn't done yet? The feline speaks to us when we know we deserve it, but are pretending we don't. His is the voice that whispers in our ears just as we try to settle down with a good book, a new computer game, or our favorite leisure activities, and we experience that old familiar guilty feeling. Alcohol only drowns him out temporarily and gives people hangovers as well, so it is not a useful remedy, although it is widely used. In fact, so maybe you might be dealing with some of these issues with like toxic coping mechanisms, like addictions. Huh. Um, in fact, that particular avoidance tactic usually causes the feline to raise his voice even louder the next morning in a particularly piercing tone. He makes lists of things we haven't done, shaking his head over them and muttering tisk tisk. I feel like this is you being hard on yourself. You can't reach healing while talking shit about yourself. That's what I'm getting to, is like, because if you don't protect with these like how it's like thinking about my own protection from the song, it's almost like maybe you are protecting yourself with some coping mechanisms, like, but not good ones. Toxic coping mechanisms like alcohol or drugs or sleeping too much or um, sex addiction. Like, none of these things are bad if we do them the right way, okay? But right now, I think that you're using it as a mask so you don't have to get to the healing, because the healing means that you have to face your emotions, because that's the only way to heal. What is it? Like, the tower is right in. So that's interesting. The tower comes right before the star. And the tower, even though it's the number 16, that breaks down to a 7, to me, it always is like 5 represents tower, because 5s are change and towers are change. And you have so much 5 energy. It's like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So you've gone through some dramatic change, but you're not ready for this star yet. You have to be ready to do the kind of like deep dive in order to heal whatever it is that you're protecting yourself from. Okay, let's see here. These are the things we could and should have taken care of by now, but haven't. This is his job, and he does it well. Sometimes, though, he just wishes we would do our jobs so that he could go play. First one over the hill gets to kiss the fairy maid, or munch chocolate-covered thistles with his friends and take naps in the heather, instead of having to work overtime nagging at us. And that's the thing, how I was talking about this wolf having, like, wings. It's almost like you know what you're supposed to be doing. You honestly know what you're supposed to be doing, but you are avoiding it. And you're beating yourself up for avoiding it, but then you're also beating yourself up for, I don't know, it's just like you're just being really, really hard on yourself from all angles, out of the need to protect yourself from feeling any emotion whatsoever. Let's see, does it say anything else? It says the feline looks out of his card accusingly, reminding us of things undone, promises unkept, and duties unfulfilled. He says that we can't expect to have things go right when we are trailing so much unfinished business behind us. Dragging that stuff around tires us. Seriously, you have to work twice as hard to carry all your baggage. It uses up energy that we need for other things. If we would just take care of these things that cause so much mental and sometimes physical clutter, we would suddenly find that we have a lot more energy at our disposal to do the things that we really want to do, and probably much more cooperation from others as well. He especially suggests that we take care of the little things that matter to others. We will feel so much better when we have done that, and so will he. So, you guys, I think these, you know what? I think you're needing to move on. Because you know how when they came out, I actually saw this one, like, after this one? And I think this is what I'm getting. That's the advice. So, because this is where you are. You are stuck in this toxic energy and beating yourself up, not wanting to deal with things. And you just need to move forward. You need to step to the healing. You need to start healing your shit. Please. And look at this. 6 minus 1, 6, 5, 1, 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. Change your shit. Change. Be the journeyman. Move on from the ego. Hang on. I feel like I'm going to sneeze really bad. Okay, I think it's passed. So, Virgo, this has been a little bit of a call-out reading. I hope it was helpful, though. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. I thank any of you for being present today. Any of your guides that were present, any of my guides that were present, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.